right, happy Arbor Day. Every year we come out to celebrate Arbor Day in the month of March, and I'm happy to kick off this year's Arbor Day here at this special location. Joined with us today, we have several guests. I know Dan from FUF is here. Let's see, Larry Stringer is here. Of course, we have our colleagues and our partners in Arbor Day. And today, like many Arbor Days, tree will be dedicated in someone who has contributed to San Francisco, either through their work on giving back to the environment, through culture, through arts, and through many of the hard work. And we will unveil who will receive this dedication today. As many of you know, trees are very, very important for our communities. They provide us shade. They deter water from going into our storm systems. They provide a place for birds and butterflies. And of course, they help us clean our air. So Arbor Day is a very, very important event. It is celebrated not just in America, but all over the world. And I'm honored that we're kicking off this event today. And without further delay, I will introduce our mayor, who was very instrumental in bringing the celebration of Arbor Day back to San Francisco. And as I said, this is our 8th Arbor Day. So I would welcome Mayor Lee to the stage.
Thank you, Mohammed. Thank you, Mo, and thank you to DPW, the Recreation and Park, to our Department of Environment, to all of our volunteers in the community for working together with us. Supervisor Yee, who just arrived, thank you for joining us as well. Arbor Day, it is a annual celebration that we have struggled very hard to make sure the city appreciates, because the trees are part of a great answer and solution to reducing carbon emissions, to making sure that we have beautification and greenery for our citizens. You know, I want to say that a lot of friends of mine celebrated Chinese New Year's in China, and they have companies over there with loyal employees. And this year, for Chinese New Year's, one of the gifts that they gave to their loyal employees was an air mask. You know, that just simply represents that the air, if you don't really start contributing to its purification, you don't get the kind of air like we do in San Francisco. And this is why trees are so important to our whole balance of nature. And this is what I love about the city, because when it comes to the environment, we do pay attention and we do make some serious investments, as we've done with all the things that we're doing, whether it's green buildings, whether it's zero waste in our waste management, or going into electric vehicles, or getting everybody to change their habits. But one of the habits that we want to continue having is planting trees. And so every year for the last 8 years, we have selected a signature tree to plant. And we have taken the liberties of honoring people that have contributed to the quality of life for all of us. In past years, there are people like Rosa Parks or Cesar Chavez, people that we know and are familiar with, along with people that we aren't that familiar with but made some great contributions. And so today, we thought we'd take this opportunity to celebrate an icon of San Francisco. You know, the Brown twin sisters have been with us for so many decades, and Marion's here today. She is here in celebration and in memory of her sister, as we all are. And we wanted to take this opportunity of using the Arbor Day signature tree, which is a California incense cedar tree. A tree that will grow much taller than Marion and I have ever been. In fact, it'll grow up to 100 feet tall at its height of maturity. It'll be a tree that will be celebrated here in San Francisco for generations to come. And we thought it would be not only appropriate, we thought it would be our honor to celebrate Arbor Day by planting this tree in honor and in recognition of Vivian and her wonderful contributions to our city. And we are especially blessed with Marion honoring us with her presence here today. It's not that easy for her to get around these days, but she has, and she continues to be part of an incredible twin sisters, but now she's also missing Vivian as much as we are, and we felt that this would be a proper way to create a celebratory atmosphere around how we miss Vivian, how much she meant to us, and take this opportunity on Arbor Day to plant this signature tree in her name. How's that, Marion, for a great celebration?
Oh, it's just fine, wonderful, and I know my sister is up in heaven and she's applauding you.
All right, all right. So if you didn't hear that, she says Vivian's up there applauding us, and we have a great time of celebrating. So, with that, I want to thank everybody that's involved here, but I know this tree, and Supervisor Yee, you should know, we're on land that over a period of history, and Mohammed knows this the best, it's always been under dispute as to who's supposed to be responsible for this piece of land. Was it the highway folks? Was it the residents who built their homes here? Or was it DPW? Or we're trying to gift it to Rec and Park for nothing? Because it's an incredible responsibility. Look at how beautiful this place is when we do keep it up. It does barrierize the intense level of traffic that is around here, but it offers a place of solace for all the people who live here and take the public transportation. They always look over. I travel here quite a bit, and everyone I know always glances over here and takes a breath of fresh air amidst all of this traffic. And by planting this tree in Vivian's name, we know we're adding beauty and value and clean air at the same time. So with that, if I may, I take this opportunity to give this proclamation directly to Marion, have her treasure this, and have her as her permanent memory of her sister and how we celebrate people who are part of our culture, as the Brown sisters have been, and also have been on literally every page of our wonderful visitors galleries. They've been in movies, they've been in commercials. They literally have become part of what we see in San Francisco and how we advertise ourselves around the world as being a great place to visit, to live, and to work in. So with that, this proclamation declares today to be Vivian Brown Tree Day in San Francisco, and this also appropriately and officially names this California cedar to be the Vivian Brown tree in San Francisco.
Thank you all for coming.
All right.
All right, so like the mayor said, this is a California incense tree. Tree has got many benefits. In its earlier days, the tree bark was used for making medicine for people with stomach aches. It's also been used as a windbreaks, and it's been used in many parks. Tree comes from the cypress family, and the botanic name is Calocidrus decurrens. So if you want to check it up, trees do have botanical names, and then they have the common names. Anyway, I'm excited that we are adding such a tree to San Francisco and to honor Vivian and the Brown sisters. Now, like we have done in many of our events, it's always an honor to introduce the supervisor of the district. And like Mayor said, we're very familiar with this piece of land. This particular piece of land has got many trees along it that act as a buffer to the neighborhood, and the neighborhood appreciates it. But we are still trying to figure out who is the legal owner of it. But in that process, DPW and the neighbors always join hands And the one thing we know is we do need to take care of the trees, and we do that. So with that said, I'll introduce Supervisor Norman Yee.
Thank you. I'll keep this short. I'm just one of many citizens in San Francisco celebrating today, Arbor Day, and also this naming of the tree for Vivian Brown. I am so glad that we have an opportunity to have this celebration in this district, in District 7, and to be able to celebrate more intensely this great icon of San Francisco. And I just hope that I get to see the tree when it's 100 feet tall. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Also, as part of our partnership, as many of you know, we partner with many of the nonprofits. I see San Francisco Beautiful here, and welcome, Kirsten, who is a great partner with us. But we also partner with other city agencies, and I'm going to ask Phil Ginsberg from the Recreation and Parks Department to come up and say a few words.
Thank you, Mo, Marion, Mr. Mayor, Supervisor Yee. It's an honor to be here and to celebrate Arbor Day with all of you. This is a day to celebrate our trees, and in our 220 neighborhood parks and 4,000 acres of open space in this city, we are able to steward and enjoy and love and benefit from over 140,000 trees. And just a couple of sort of interesting facts on Arbor Day. The three primary trees that form the overstory of Golden Gate Park and are responsible for its creation are the Monterey pine, Monterey cypress, and eucalyptus trees. And John McLaren and William Hammond Hall, in creating the park, tested 60 or 70 different types of trees, which you can find in the Panhandle, which is literally was a laboratory for Golden Gate Park's founders to figure out what types of trees would grow best in the sandy outer lands that became Golden Gate Park, and they settled on those three specific trees. And I guess what I would like to say, and I think another partner, Mohammed, that we should certainly recognize and thank, is the Friends of the Urban Forest, who works with the city so well to care for our urban forest. I also want to give a big shout out to Local 261 and the men and women who take care of our trees, our urban foresters, our gardeners, our laborers. And Marion, I think I'd like to end, did you ever read The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein? Which is my favorite children's book, and it's the story about a tree that gives and gives and gives to a person who started out as a young boy, and all throughout life he came to visit that tree and took a little bit from that tree until the tree had nothing left to give. And you know, I think that you and your sister have given so much to this city and have contributed to its spirit, that there is nothing that is more fitting in honoring the two of you than planting a new tree to give and give and give back to the community. So congratulations, and I'm overjoyed to be a part of this honor. Congratulations.
I think San Francisco is a big city. They do not forget their own, and they take care of people, and that is wonderful. And we have always enjoyed living in San Francisco because of you people. It's people that make the world. Nobody else does. What would this world be with no people? So we love San Francisco. Never leave your heart in San Francisco. Always come and find it here.
Okay. And also, as part of my job, being responsible for many trees, and I can tell you that this has become one of the harder parts of my job, and we have gone out and we are trying to get more people involved. Within the right-of-way, there's about 100,000 street trees, and within the parks, there's about another 120,000 trees, and we're working very, very hard to make sure that we preserve that asset. Many of our trees have aged, and we need to start a process of reforestation. But to start a process of reforestation obviously involves some good thinking and some good planning. And now I'm going to ask Melanie Nutter from the Department of Environment, who actually houses the Tree Council Policy Group, that helps advise the city and helps guide us in terms of what we should be doing as a city. Melanie Nutter.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. It is an honor to be here on behalf of Department of the Environment with the mayor, with Supervisor Yee, with Miriam, with Mohammed and Phil and all of you to celebrate Arbor Day. This is, of course, as Department of the Environment, one of our favorite days because it is, of course, in honor of our trees. And at Department of the Environment, one of the programs that we focus on is our climate program. We really focus on looking at what is our carbon inventory and where are carbon emissions coming from here in the city and county of San Francisco. We know that a predominant amount of our carbon emissions come from the built environment and from vehicles, particularly the transportation sector. And we're working very diligently to put policies and programs in place to reduce and mitigate the carbon that comes from those sectors. But we know that having a robust urban forest and many, many trees is a key to the answer of being able to reduce our carbon emissions further. So that's one of the reasons that we're so excited to see this tree planted here today and to work with everyone you see here to continue to expand our urban forest. In addition, it's also critical to our adaptation strategy. Thinking about if we can't ward off the worst effects of climate change, trees will continue to help us by capturing stormwater and being part of our adaptation strategy as well. And they have an economic benefit. They boost property values in neighborhoods where they have a robust urban forest. So there's many, many benefits that come from trees, and we're really excited to be here today to celebrate our urban forest. And I just wanted to mention that when I first moved to San Francisco, I lived on Russian Hill, and I would sometimes walk to work on Bush Street, sometimes take the cable car, and I would often see you and your sister at, I think there's an Italian restaurant or a pizza place, seeing both of them smiling, and just the warmth that they shared as twins for so many years brought a really huge smile to my face every day that I would see them. And I'm just really honored to be part of this tree planting, knowing that, as you said before this started, your sister is smiling down today, and the smile of both of you will live on here. So I'm really honored to be here. So congratulations and thank you.
All right, so we're going to lower the tree and plant the tree in honor of Vivian. And Miriam, I'm so happy that you are here with us today.
Seen all of you, and I hope you have a great day. And never forget our beloved city of San Francisco.
Okay, so we should turn around, and we should get the shovels. Wait, who's got color? Okay, yeah. Okay, after 3, 1, 2, 3.
There you go.
One more. All right, there you go. Hey, all right. All right. All right.